Okay, I am talking so much, I'm about to pass out. Let's just get the iOS 6 so I can go to bed. iOS 6. Siri now does sports data, which is actually pretty cool considering I'm really into the Phillies. You can now ask Siri what was the last score, or who's taller, Kobe Bryant or LeBron James or whatever. I don't do basketball really, but anyway, I may have said those names wrong. But basically, you can now get more information about restaurants thanks to Yelp. You can get ratings and photos right within Siri, which is awesome. You can now make a reservation using OpenTable. That's pretty sweet, because I know that's something people have been wanting for a while. Now this is cool. Siri now gets information about movies. Guys, I'm a movie buff. I'm always watching movies on Netflix, and it now has full support for, wait for it, Rotten Tomatoes. Okay, maybe it's not that exciting for the average person, but for me, I freaking love Rotten Tomatoes, so I'm really looking forward to using that. You can now do native tweeting within Siri, which is cool. Siri integration in cars. This is something I didn't expect, but basically Apple's going to be working with a bunch of motor vehicle companies such as BMW, GM, Audi, and much more. And iOS 6 has Siri support for the new iPad. You're getting you're getting Siri. You're getting Siri. Are you excited? What's wrong with me, guys? I'm forcing this out. I'm just so tired. Oh, God. All right. Continuing on. Facebook integration on iOS 6. Finally, yes, it has been proven that Apple and Facebook do not hate each other. Yay! This is pretty cool, considering I live on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Social media is my life. So with Facebook integration, you get native support all around. You can now like apps and music and movies and TV shows, etc., all within Apple's iTunes store, which is pretty cool. And, of course, the App Store. Now, this is something I didn't expect. Phone. Yes, phone. The phone app, Apple's native phone app, after all, that's what an iPhone's used for, although I rarely make phone calls. The phone app, you can now reply with a message instantly in case you miss a call, or you can remind yourself to call that person back later straight from the lock screen, even in the form of a geofence. So basically, if my mom called me, since I live here now, I live alone for the time being, and I forgot to call her back, I will say, remind me to call my mom when I leave, if I go to Wawa. And as soon as I leave the geofence area within 100 feet or whatever it is, then Siri will remind me. Pretty sweet. My battery's getting low, so let's just get through this. Do not disturb. This is a pretty cool feature. Basically, this deactivates your phone's alerts in terms of the sound and the display. So if you do get any phone calls, text messages, emails, or push notifications, or anything for that matter, your phone will not make a noise or not light up in a dark room if you're sleeping or wherever. Especially in church, this is really useful. So that's pretty cool. But in case of an emergency, God forbid, like if someone gets in an accident or somebody dies, as horrible as that sounds, this stuff unfortunately happens, the phone will be smart enough if you have this optional one called repeated calls. So if somebody calls back within like 3 minutes a second time, then it will override the system and it will light up the phone. It will do audible notifications. So that's very, very wise of Apple to include that just in case of emergencies. So that's very cool and very smart. So thank you, Apple, for thinking. FaceTime support over cellular. Awesome. Now they took the time to say cellular. They did not just say 4G. So in theory, I know I'm saying that a lot tonight, I should be able to make FaceTime calls over my iPhone 4S without Wi-Fi on. So, let's hope that works. And now finally, you can unify your FaceTime ID between your phone number and email. This is something I've actually been wanting for a while now, so thank you, Apple, again, for doing that. This is actually a pretty solid update overall in terms of iOS 6. I wouldn't say it's anything revolutionary, but it's definitely stuff we needed for a while. Okay, moving on to Safari, we have iCloud tabs, just like Mountain Lion. Offline reading list, so basically if you want to read stuff on the go, you can download it and cache it to your device without having a connection. Photo upload forms, finally, this is so cool. In contact forms or registrations or whatever, and you want to upload an avatar via a website, you can now do that choose file or choose photo thing, and it'll bring up your photo albums and you can upload directly like a real computer. So that alone is awesome. I mean, seriously, that's a big deal. Smart app banners, apparently this lets you switch to the app in a smart way instead of the app developer bothering you in the first place. And you do get full screen support, which is kind of odd considering, do I really need to get that bar out of there where the clock is? I mean, it's not that much space wasting. And either way, more pixels is always good. Moving on, photo stream. We now have shared photo streams between friends, and between those shared photo streams, you can now comment with the friends. It's kind of like a photo thread in Facebook form, but not on Facebook, just on your device. So it's pretty cool. Again, not something I expected. Mail, you now have VIP support. So, for instance, David Banther, shout out to David Banther. If I have work from him coming in and I want to be alerted for just him and not anybody else, then I can do that. It's pretty cool. You can now easily insert a photo or video into the mail app and a message of your choice, which is pretty cool. You can now open protected Office docs and pull to refresh, which is awesome. This is, seriously, what took Apple so long to do this? This is something I've been wanting for a while now because all these third-party app developers have it. I'm sitting back to relax. I mean, my back's killing me. Next time I gotta move the camera closer and just chill. Alright, next up we have Passbook. This is actually pretty cool. It's an organizer app for your boarding passes, store cards, and movie tickets. Maybe this is something I'll use for gift cards over time. Guided access. This is really cool. Now, they took the time to concentrate on kids with autism or just people with autism in general. But this is also great for kiosks and just demos in stores or anything for that matter. What guided access does is it locks it down into single app mode, meaning press the home button will not exit the app like it just did for Pages. So basically you can override anything you want. So if I want to circle, for instance, let's get close here. If I want to circle that top toolbar right here and deactivate it for anybody who's using my iPad, I can. So that's really, really cool. If you don't want your iPad or iPhone or whatever being accessible on certain areas. So again, very smart of Apple to even think of this. And overall, very cool. I mean, I really have nothing to complain about that. That's really a bonus. And Maps, Google is officially out of Apple's world, at least in terms of Maps. Apple has a completely new Maps app built from the ground up with these beautiful, freaking beautiful 3D maps. Okay, where do we start? First of all, it's a completely new app, like I just said. Apple has 100 million business listings built into the map service, which is awesome. Yelp integration, which is always good. Traffic view and incident reports, pretty sweet. Crowdsource the traffic data. This means if so-and-so road is busy, you can tell everyone that it is busy, and then people will find out because of you. We don't have to rely on official reports from like wherever. We can rely on me, we can rely on you, and pretty cool overall. What else? Turn-by-turn navigation with beautiful UI, I said. Seriously, the user interface is beautiful. Now, I am a graphic designer, so that's why I call it beautiful. I'm fascinated by the slightest gradients or the shades or maybe like a slight stroke of gray. I mean, that stuff fascinates me. But turn-by-turn navigation is huge, especially considering I just moved. So this is really useful because this is a new area for me. Of course, I won't have this till the fall, but either way, turn-by-turn navigation is awesome, especially considering it's native. What else? Siri integration, of course, Siri works with the maps. And flyover with 3D maps. I made a note to say in this video, holy shit. Seriously, holy freaking eye shit. This is cool stuff, guys. Beautiful interface. Now, this is stuff we've seen rumored for a while now, so it's really nothing new. We kind of spoiled ourselves if you go to 9to5mac.com or Mac Rumors. But seriously, guys, I mean, I cannot wait to explore New York City and just in a beautiful 3D view and to rotate around the maps and see the Empire State Building and even the Apple Store. I'm sure the Apple Store on 5th Avenue, you know, the Cube, the famous Cube, I'm sure that thing looks amazing. And overall, it's just very cool. And that about wraps it up, iOS 6, with my iOS 6, guys. and wraps up this whole thing. Oh, by the way, iOS 6 beta is available today, so if you are a developer or you have access to a developer via your UDID, you can download the beta right away for free. But if you have to wait officially, like I will be, iOS 6 will be officially released this fall. They never really say, but my prediction is early October. And it is available for the iPhone 3GS, which I didn't expect, so that's awesome of Apple to support legacy hardware. The iPad 2nd and 3rd generation, so if you still are rocking an iPad 2, you do have full support for iOS 6. Well, I shouldn't say full support, obviously including Siri and everything, dealing with Siri. And iPod Touch 4th generation. So if you are using an iPod Touch, you do have support for iOS 6. And that is that, guys. Man, I am freaking tired. Overall, I'm very pleased with this. Unfortunately, I can't really buy anything right now because of the whole house expense and stuff like that, and I gotta live on my own for the time being, which is awesome, though. I mean, it's obviously a good trade-off. But the point of this blurb is, well, I'm not going to be buying the new MacBook Pros for those wondering, unfortunately. But, hey, maybe at some point. Oh, by the way, the Mac Pro, a lot of people don't realize this, but the Mac Pro did receive a very, very minor bump. Like, very tiny. Like, guys, do you see that? You probably need a retina display to see that. I mean, it's that freaking small. Like, I'm not even sure what they updated. They may bump the processors or RAM a bit. Either way, it was pathetic. It's just, unfortunately, guys, I think the Mac Pro is dead. Okay, let's look at this in two ways. Either one, the Mac Pro is probably dead from this point forward. That's the last update. Or, and I'm hoping for this one, scenario number two, Apple's kind of taking their time and doing a brand new Mac Pro. But I'm not going to get my hopes up for that. Unfortunately. Yes. Moment of silence, please. This is a little sad for me, guys. Seriously, what the hell am I going to do? My Mac Pro is at the end of its freaking cycle in terms of updates. I can't even install Mountain Lion, officially anyway. What am I supposed to do? I like a tower. I like the expandability of the PCI Express and just slapping a graphics card in there and upgrading the RAM to an insane amount and all those internal hard drives. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, the MacBook Pro with Retina display looks insane. But I like a desktop, guys. I like a desktop. What do you guys think? Honestly, post your thoughts below. I really do want your honest opinion on this. Keep in mind, I'm not much of a portable person. However, I won't lie, it would be really nice to sit in here with a nice MacBook Pro and to be able to edit this video in Final Cut Pro 10. I mean, that would be very, very nice. Because honestly, I do like this room more than my office. I made that clear in the beginning of this video, but maybe I got my point across. Either way, now I'm just babbling. This video has been insanely way too long. I'll probably split it into two parts like usual because I don't want you guys to get too bored. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I promise future videos in this house will be much shorter and more organized. I mean, it is 2:39 in the morning. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Again, thank you so much for your support and your patience with the whole moving process. I promise I will have a house tour up very soon, as well as a room tour and probably a living room tour. I'll do them all separately. Like the house tour will be more brief and just show the rooms, but I'll do an in-depth tour of my living room and an in-depth tour of my office. Not my bedroom, because my bedroom is very bland at the moment, but we'll see what happens. Okay, is anyone even there? Am I talking to anybody at the moment? Hello? I'm finally done. This has probably been my longest WWDC update in a while, but hey, if you lasted this long, I appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.